from last week, 7.22 average for a 30-year fixed rate loan. Freddie Mac's chief economist says they needs to drop more, but it's a welcome relief. Now, thanks for tuning in to the 4-Minute Realty Report Show with your host, Derek Devlin. Now let's get down to business. Home loan financing costs eased again this week as the average long-term U.S. mortgage rate slid to its lowest level in 4 months. Now, the average rate on a 30-year mortgage dropped to 7.03% from 7.22% last week. A year ago, the rate averaged 6.33%. Now, the last time the average rate was lower was in early August when it was at 6.96%. Now, borrowing costs on 15-year fixed-rate mortgages, popular with homeowners refinancing their home loan, also declined this week, with the average rate falling to 6.29% from 6.56% last week. Now, a year ago, that average was at 5.67%. Right? Now, this is the 6th straight week drop for rates, echoing a recent pullback in the 10-year Treasury yield, which lenders use as a guide to pricing homes. Now, the yield, which in mid-October surged to its highest level since 2007, has been falling on hopes that the Federal Reserve may finally be done raising interest rates in its bid to tame lower inflation. Now, in more local news, a state report this week found that Florida, with 22.6 million residents, 1.6% more than it had a year earlier. But they also predict growth will slow over the next several years. Now, Florida continues to grow as it attracts people from other parts of the U.S., but that growth is projected to slow in the coming years as groups that have been moving to Florida in droves get older. Now, that's according to state economics. Now, the Legislature's Office of Economic and Demographic Research released a report this week that showed that the state's estimated population in April was a little over 22.6 million, an increase of nearly 359,000 people, or that 1.61% from a year earlier. Now, the increase was bolstered by the number of people moving to Florida from elsewhere in the U.S. being the highest numbers ever been. And that's according to Stephen Rayer, Population Program Director with the Bureau of Economic and Business Research at the University of Florida. And speaking of Florida and staying in Florida, if you're thinking about visiting the Keys or moving there anytime soon, you might want to reconsider. The state is considering easing strict, long-standing limits on development in Florida Keys, a move that could fuel the biggest building boom in the ecologically fragile island chain of nearly half a century. Now, it could at least potentially open the door to as many as 8,000 new homes and businesses in one of Florida's most famous tourist destinations and supercharge Monroe County's construction industry and economy. But it would pack more people into a hurricane-hot zone, especially experiencing increasing tidal flooding and facing billions of dollars in projects to raise roads and repair aging wastewater and water supply systems, and would almost certainly increase impacts on declining coral reefs, fish population, and seagrass beds. And that won't be good for anyone. And I'm out of time. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Derek Devlin. See you next week. If you saw this video and would like to discuss the market or anything regarding any aspect of real estate, feel free to give me a call so we can have a chat. I'm available 7 days a week. You can call me, text me, email me, or you can even DM me on any one of my social media platforms, or visit my website to find a home or property. If you found some value in this video, please like, follow, or subscribe. Remember, home is just a phone call away.